I'm not even sure that I know anything about podcasting. I'm not even sure that's a word. I think I just made it up. If you want to use it, you could go ahead and use it. Hey guys, Barbara here from the Bare Pantry Show that can be seen on YouTube and Facebook. And I'm here on my platform, Bare Pantry Talk, to try my hand on my very first podcast. We're not going to edit out mistakes. Maybe if I cuss or something, I'll edit that out. But if we fumble a word or two, you should know that I have gut issues. And when you have gut issues, it affects your brain. And sometimes I can't call the word that I want to call right away. So they say you should make these podcast episodes short and sweet. So the first topic that I want to speak on is people that I don't feel you can be friends with. And by you, I mean me. All right. So I'm going to say maybe 3 different type of people. The first one, people who are not allegiant. I can't, guys. If somebody's not allegiant, I might be friends with them for a little while, but I'm going to bounce. I don't always have to be right, but you can have my back, and then you could tell me later, that's not right. Let's fix this. I can listen to that. You know what I mean? You're not going to be able to be friends with people who always want to lecture you. Child, I can't. Even a little kid don't want to be, even a dog don't want to be lectured. All right? No, you can warn me about certain things coming down the pike. If you see a rock in my way, a hole that I'm going to fall into, if you see somebody setting up trying to hurt me or whatever, you can warn me. That's not a lecture. But if every minute you're telling me stuff, you know, like, oh, take this because blah, 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 but then you don't want to take it too. You know, I have people like that in my life. You should really take this right here and eat this food, you know, because if you eat this, then you're going to feel better in your gut. But then they don't want to do things that's going to make them better either. My uncle used to be like that, my Uncle Les. He always wanted to call and tell you about your child and lecture you about your child. He's dead now, by the way. But he have his own kids that were out of control, that are still out of control, right? And he don't see that. It's like, don't call and tell me about my picnic. I'm from Belize, by the way, in case you don't know. So picnic means child, all right? Don't call and tell me about my own picnic. So you don't want to be friends with people who are going to lecture you, all right, all day long. Just one lecture after the next. Then I can't be friends with people who tell lies. I could understand you have to tell lies now and again. You know, if you have to lie to immigration, that's a different story. But if everything out of your mouth is a lie, you know, like I had a friend that if I told her a story from my childhood, she had the same thing happen to her in her childhood. I'm like, I know that's a lie. You know? And so everything she tell me, I have to go look it up on Google. I can't have to vet every story you tell me. I have to be able to trust the stories you tell me, right? Another one, Joe's building one of those fruit bowls outside. Another person that you might not be able to stay friends with is somebody who is always trying to be argumentative against you. That yin and that yang, that if you say it's night, they say it's day. It's like, okay, you have ODD, oppositional defiant disorder. You're just being argumentative to be argumentative. And the last one that I could come up with after, because I'm doing these things off the top of my head. I don't stay friends with people that have trouble with speaking. You have to be able to communicate to me or with me, for one. And for 2, if you have like a speech impediment, I'm going to help you work on it. But you're going to have to fix that because I'm not going to be able to stay in your life. When I was in standard 5, which is 7th grade, I only spent 1 week in 7th grade in Belize. The teacher was a very nice man, Mr. Flowers, but he had a stammer or a stutter, right? And I told my mom, I can't be in this class with him. It's not going to work for me. I'm going to develop his stutter or his stammer, and it's just going to send me crazy. And he was a nice man, such a nice man. And so mommy worked on them getting me out of that class because I shouldn't have gone to standard 5 or 7th grade anyways, because in Belize, when you do well in standard 4 or 6th grade, they skip you straight to 8th grade or standard 6. They didn't want to skip me because the principal had issues with my mom. And so mommy made sure they took me out of the man class, and I went straight to standard 6 or 8th grade. And I only stayed in a man class 1 week because I couldn't deal with his pattern of speech. And even so on YouTube, when I'm listening to people do their commentary, if they talk too much in the back of their throat, if they have a choppy pattern to their talk, I'm not even talking like lisps and stuff like that or stutters. I'm talking about just the timbre in their voice. I can't. I stop listening. It just puts me in a bad mood. And so everybody around me pretty much can talk. Child, all my kids can talk. And they weren't born that way. I had to train them up like that, right? So, yeah, I can't be friends with ultra religious people. You shouldn't have to push religion down people's throat. I can't be friends with ultra political people. Matter of fact, I can't be friends with people if they belong to a different political party than me. Here or in Belize. I'm UDP in Belize, and if you're PUP, we won't have too much of a friendship. We might not be enemies, but we really will not have a strong bond. I have a friend right now that's PUP in Belize, and I'm UDP, the political party, and I can't stand talking to him because I don't bring up anything about politics because I know he comes from a different political background, and he knows we come from a different political background, and he still want to bring up things, so I can't talk to him. When my party was in power for 8, 10, 15 years, however long they were, I didn't throw nothing in his face. You know what I mean? I'm not throwing nothing in his face right now when his party fails miserably at certain stuff. Likewise here in America too. I'm Democrat, and if that person's Republican 10-1, we probably won't be friends for too long. Might not be enemies, but we just can't be friends. I just can't. I can't deal with it. Maybe that's what I'm going to name this podcast. I can't. Because I'm not the one that's going to bring up the political things. I staple my tongue to the ground before I bring up those type of things. But they have to bring it up. When it comes to Republicans, they have to come and bring it up and tell you, child, no. No. And if you're on my Facebook feed or my Instagram feed and you just keep posting stuff all day long about politics like that and it offends me, I'll just mute you. I don't even have to block you. I just mute you. That's my Obese phone. T-Van. Who the hell is T-Van? Okay. So this is my first one. Tell me if you guys like it. I'm just going to pick topics that kind of sit with me for the day. And then we're just going to record them, make them, how long is this? 7 minutes long. We don't want them to be too long. So I can't even recap the kind of people that you're not going to be friends with. But I just told you mine, okay? I'm going to go eat something and I'll see you guys in the next upload. Bye.